Guys, I want to tell you all a secret. Most men, I mean the male gender that you see in the churches today, I guarantee you at least 60% of them have already deconstructed from Christianity mentally. The only thing that is keeping them in those churches is their wives. I'm saying this because many of these men have reached out to me privately and they are telling me that they are willing to deconstruct and walk out of Christianity. The only problem is their wives. For most of them, their wives are threatening them with a divorce. That if you stop being a Christian, then that's the end of our marriage, because according to the Bible, I cannot be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. Because these men love their wives and they don't want to lose their wives, they are forced to play along. Every Sunday, they accompany their wives to church, come back, and they are even forced to continue practicing Christianity in their homes. Because if they don't, the next thing is divorce. So they have reached out to me and asked me, we believe you are a married man. Tell us, how are you managing this situation in your home? How does it look like in your marriage? How has this deconstruction from Christianity affected your marriage? So I'm sharing this story because I want most men to learn from my example, at least to encourage some of them, and maybe there are some tips they can pick from my own experience. I don't know, but let me just put it out there. It's my privacy that I'm putting out there, so at least treat it with some respect. My wife and I, we met at church. We sang in the same choir. That's where we met. We fell in love. We dated for many years. And finally, we got married. And after we got married, we continued practicing Christianity for a number of years. We usually prayed together, studied the Bible together, and all that stuff that Christians do together. Until when it came to a point where I started seeing things differently and the Bible stopped making sense to me. Now, I quietly withdrew myself. I wasn't saying anything. I was just observing. And when it was time for prayers, I was just getting busy. I was like, come on, you go pray. Go read the Bible, do something. I'm okay. She naturally is an introvert. She wouldn't talk too much. So she just let me be on my side. So one day I called her and I said, look, the Bible has stopped making sense to me. And she said, why? I tried to give her one or two explanations. And she said, listen, you can't question God. God is God. He is sovereign. And whatever he decides, we cannot do otherwise. I said, well, that is you. But for me, I'm having other thoughts. She looked at me and sat quiet. Every Sunday, we usually went to church together. So at a certain point, I stopped going to church. On Sundays, I had my favorite program on TV, which was political debates. And I love politics. So I always love watching the debates. Instead of going to church to listen to a pastor, on Sunday,